keeping the First Amendment alive. We are Fairfax County's cable access and internet radio station.
The radio programs aired by FPA reflect the viewpoints of individual producers and do not necessarily represent those of the station, its staff, or supporters.
Peace. Welcome back to On Beat with Olo. This is DJ Olo coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. That's WEBR Radio Fairfax. I got an ill show lined up for everybody today, man. I got DC SCROGER in the house. Peace, brother.
What's going on, world? Thank
you for taking the time to come out and speak to us, man. The reason I invited you out here today is because when I first met you, you told me that you were a grower, a legal grower in DC, and you told me that you were an educator and you wanted to educate the masses about growing.
Right.
And about growing for yourself in DC. And at first, it kind of went over my head because we're in VA and it's still illegal. Everything about cannabis is still illegal here, even paraphernalia, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it went over my head, but it took a few months for me to realize that you guys are not only actively involved, but you guys have established the business for the past, it's been what, like a year and a half? Almost 2 years now?
Yeah, it's almost, it's going on 2 years.
2 years.
We'll be going on 2 years fully, February.
And that's Initiative 71.
Initiative 71. The law was passed in 2014. We were able to put it on the ballot, and hey, we can legally grow. We can walk around in DC with 2 ounces on us. We can gift anybody over the age of 21.
As long as there's no money being transferred.
No money. I actually give everything myself free. Everything with me is free. I've given free clones, free edibles,
free seeds,
J's, free seeds.
Those aren't J's though. I seen your J's. Those are those are beyond J's, man. Those are triple J's. You know what I'm saying?
Like stacked up.
I seen those joints, man. Let me just go around real quick. We got my man Theory of ARK playing live beats for us today. Peace, man. I don't know if you got that mic, but next to you we got Count Fifth. Peace, brother. Next to you, we got Brother Cliff, man. Long time no see.
What's going on? Oh, yeah, it's been a minute. Peace.
I'm glad you could make it, man. I'm sorry about the bills, but it's all good, man. Everybody's team's doing bad this year. To your right, we got CC Vibes. Peace, CC.
What's going on?
How you doing, man? I can't even see you because of this big black screen over here.
It's all good.
The one eye.
It's all good.
Next to you, we got my man Jamal. Oh, man. What do you want me to say? I gotta say your name, man. I've dropped your name.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Always government.
Yeah, sorry, man.
It doesn't matter.
We got my man Jamal SCROGER, and we got my man Matt, who's usually on the cameras.
Usually behind the camera. What's up? I'm in front of it now.
Yeah, he just wanted to get in on this conversation, man. So the topic today is cannabis sees no color, and that's what you say, right?
Yeah,
that's your
it's one of my hashtags. I have quite a few.
Yeah,
but, one of them is cannabis sees no color.
So tell us about that, man. What does that mean?
What it means is that the plant itself is green, and most people that use it encompass different walks of life and different backgrounds, and so the plant actually doesn't see any color. At the time, what was going on in our country that week or the week before was a time of turmoil, and what I wanted to do was actually show the world and show what our community, our cannabis community in DC is all about, and that we all are from all different walks of life. So what I did was I called some friends and told them that what I was going to do. I put a cannabis service announcement out for our cannabis community, and those that wanted to help got down, and I know West.
And at the time, I don't mean to cut you off, but at the time, this community is a very underground community.
Yeah, for the most part, Initiative 71 has brought a lot of people together that would have walked right past each other any other day, wouldn't have known that they consume cannabis, or they enjoy, or that they partake in the plant. So yeah, a community is I wouldn't say underground because I can legally walk around and talk about.
No, I meant before Initiative 71.
Oh, before we're in the shadows.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Everybody's
saying.
in the shadows.
Yeah, and that underground community actually came up, and now it's vibrant, man. You know, a lot of people in VA are scared to go over the bridge to DC because they don't get it. I mean, they really don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Bubble.
Yeah, they don't get it, man. But I see what's going on. I wish I was a resident of DC for the very reason that you say, and I'll tell you off air why, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I want to get into. Oh, this is dope right here, Theory. All beats provided by Theory again, man. Shout out to Theory, man. What I want to ask you about, this is the perfect beat right here, Theory. I'm feeling this one, man. I want to ask you why you encourage everyone to grow for themselves. What's the message behind that? Why do you want everyone to grow for themselves? And who exactly do you want to start growing in DC?
Okay, I believe everybody over the age of 21 who consumes cannabis in the District of Columbia or consumes cannabis in a state where you can legally grow should grow. And everybody who is over the age of 21 who is of African American descent or of color.
Even if they don't consume.
Even if they don't consume.
And why is that?
Because cotton picking is today's consumption of today. See, cotton picking is what the African American community, the buying power that we have is $2 trillion.
That's what I want you to get into, is the buying power.
Everybody plays to that buying power. They don't love hip hop music, but they'll play hip hop music on every radio station, every commercial. That's so the African American community who has $2 trillion buying power will go out and consume. We consume and medicate on a lot of cannabis in the African American community. I'm figuring 60% of them billions is based on the African American consumption when it goes retail, full retail. If you're not growing, then you're today's cotton picker.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
That's what's up. On that note, I got to take a quick break. I have to take a quick break. I'm sorry. I know everyone's going to want to get in on this, but I have to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back on beat with DC SCROGER. I want to say Scroggin with Scrogger, but we can't do what you do on your show. But I'm going to ask you about that, man. Cannabis sees no color. This is On Beat with Olo. We'll be right back.
Keeping the First Amendment alive. We are Radio Fairfax, Fairfax County's public access and internet radio station.
The radio programs aired by FPA reflect the viewpoints of individual producers and do not necessarily represent those of the station, its staff, or supporters.
Peace. You're tuned in to On Beat with Olo, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. Live beats by Theory, ARK. Unfortunately, Doms and Grizz couldn't make it, man. I was hoping they could have came out.
I do my best to try to wrangle them, but they wild cards, man. Next time, ARK in presence.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming on, Theory.
My pleasure.
We're sitting here talking to DC SCROGER, and like I was saying before the break, man, I wish that we could do our show the way you do your show. I was watching one of your shows.
That would be so nice.
Yeah, I was watching one of your shows, and I saw the slab contest. Is that what it was called? The slab contest?
You may have been watching Phone Homie's show. The slab,
okay.
A slab hour.
The slab
That's
hour.
on
Yeah.
night. That's
No. It was on your show. There was a portion, and you had your man come on. I guess he took the slab challenge, and then he came on the show and started talking about it.
Oh yeah. You're talking about a friend of mine, Steven. He came on the show. He took on Phone Homie's show. They had a slab challenge.
Oh, so he took on the challenge on your show?
No, on Phone Homie's show, and then we talked about it on my show.
Oh, okay, I got you.
He didn't win. He didn't complete the challenge.
Man, he won to me, man. That was, you know what I'm saying? Explain to them what the slab challenge is, man.
Well, it was a challenge on my friend's show for a pendant, glass pendant around the neck. And what a slab is actually concentrate. Concentrate THC cannabinoids, which is the trichomes that hold the medicine. What actually medicates you is the THC and the cannabinoids that are in the trichomes. So those are in concentrate form. And what a slab is a big glob of that, basically, about almost a gram. And
looks like a huge slug.
oh yeah,
Huge.
and you're not. It's not intended for like.
No. That's not intended for
one goal, you know. But it was a challenge, and the buddy that you saw on the show stepped up to the challenge, but he didn't make it.
Like I said, man, from what I saw, he definitely made it, man. The fact that he didn't pass out from that was crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? That was a lot of concentrate. Anyways,
yeah.
I want to get back to Initiative 71, man. So when I looked up Initiative 71, what I found is that it's like you were saying, it's lawful to possess. You have to be 21. You can possess 2 ounces for personal use. You can grow 6 plants, and that's what I want to get into. I want to ask you about the 6 plants because it says you can have 6 plants for personal use, and only 3 of them can be mature at a time.
Yeah.
So can you explain why they would do that, and why is it like that? Why is it only 3 mature?
Well, Adam Ottinger and Nick, DCMJ, are the spearhead that got Initiative 71 passed. They wrote the law. You're allowed to flower individually. You're allowed to have 6 plants, 3 of which can be mature. Definition of mature, they didn't give us a definition, so definition of mature to us is flowering, a flowering plant. And you can grow 3 of them. And if you have 2 21-year adults in the house, you can have 12 plants and 6 can be flowering. Those, I scrog it out.
Yeah.
So those 6 plants, 1 plant, 1 light. They didn't tell us how much we could grow. They just said we could grow 6 plants. So I make your 8 by 10 child's bedroom into 6 plants. 1 plant, 1 light. Technique of growing. And they didn't tell us how much we could store in our homes either. They just said we could walk out the house with 2 ounces, and I could have 1 ounce I could share to anybody over the age of 21. So I follow that, and I use that to promote growing. And I tell you, knowledge is free if you listen. Now is the time to educate the masses, to produce, not consume. Blue and yellow. Hashtag no bushwhackers.
No bushwhackers. So tell me, I just want to know about, because you said it's free to educate. I want to know about your free class, because you give free classes.
Yeah, I
right?
do.
Every Tuesday, I believe?
Every Tuesday night at Meister, I give free classes. I can give the address, or 4807 Georgia Avenue.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I give free classes Tuesday night, 7 to 9. And I educate. I also I consult individually, but I give free information. I think that information and knowledge should be free. And especially when you have a skill that a lot of people covet. And that's what I believe. A lot of people think that I should be selling my information, I should be selling the knowledge that I have. But to the masses, I just feel like people are starving in my city for information and how to grow and the proper techniques into growing and growing their own medicine and the proper ways in doing so. So I show them, and I can legally do it. So what's beautiful is I really don't have a job. I love what I do every day. I wake up and I help people.
All right, I just want to open up the mics to everyone, because I know everyone's got questions, man. So I'm gonna start with Theory. I know he's we talk about this all the time, man. I know he's got questions for SCROGER. What are you on, 3? You on number 3?
Yeah, he's on
Yeah, I guess. Actually, no questions. I'm learning just like everybody else. And I do agree with SCROGER. It is medication, absolutely. For the young, for the old. It's definitely got its values. Something interesting that I did hear is that the U.S., the government actually holds the patents on the medical qualities of the CBDs in marijuana. They got this lock and key. It's proven, yes, it is medicine.
They know it.
They hold the locks. They know it.
They've known it. That's why it's been, that is why we haven't been able to use. That is why that it hasn't been accessed for me or you or anybody else.
It's incredible.
You can grow it yourself.
Yeah, we've seen these stories, children with just just completely crippled by seizures, and then
Epilepsy.
these people just have it wrong. They're not rolling joints for their kids. They're they're applying this. They're
Charlotte's
applying this
Web.
medication and saving lives and putting lives and families back together. How can the government hold it like that? And
Because
just
money.
criminalize it?
The pharmaceutical
Money.
companies.
There's no money
man.
in the cure, brother.
Money.
Scrogger knows no money in the cure.
Money.
Pharmaceutical lobbyists.
If it doesn't make money, there's no reason to cure people,
And that's
right?
pharmaceuticals themselves. If a plant that can heal you.
Yeah, they fight. I mean, they fight hard against it.
Oh yeah, they fight hard. It's big money you're talking about. And when the U.S. themselves in the 1900s, USDA calls cannabis and hemp a cure-all, right? Classifies it as a cure-all.
Yeah.
And then an industry two industries do away with it 20 years, 30 years later. That's a big problem. And it's did away with it because they know that if you could grow it, then they can't make money from it.
Well, I don't think a lot of people know the history of cannabis, and I want you to break it down for us. It was up until.
I got a question real quick. What
Cliff.
that vote just went through, right? Where they have marijuana on the highest, worst drug category.
Oh no, it's been there. It's been classified.
No,
there.
but they just redid it. They literally the last 3 weeks.
Reclassified it?
Yeah, they
No,
just
it has-
voted on it and they
hasn't
kept
been.
it there.
It hasn't been with
Class
the DA.
A, right?
The DA.
Yeah,
the
Class A, yeah.
It's Schedule 1 narcotic. That's what cannabis is scheduled as. It's heroin. Yeah. So we're heroin addicts in the eyes of classification for the government, which has no medical use or property. That's the thing when it's classified as a Schedule 1, no medical use of property. So the DA, which said they would make a ruling, and they made a ruling. They made a ruling saying that we're not going to reschedule or deschedule. We really want it completely off the book. I mean, rescheduling is necessary for FDA and pharmaceutical, but it's a plant, and you can grow tomatoes. Right, without no problems growing tomatoes, and they still has the FDA still regulates people that grow tomatoes for you to grow it in the store, right? So it's a plant.
I had a question for you. Is this true? Going way back, I heard that initially marijuana was vilified and banned because it was competing. Hemp was a great fiber
Oh, man.
and for paper, for clothing,
touched
for everything
on it.
else, and competing with
touched-
cotton.
You touched on it. Hemp itself, its cousin.
Yeah.
Hemp is the sustainable future, and
that's
hemp
it.
itself, that one plant can heal you. CBD can clothe you with its fabric. You can eat the plant. Has 28 grams of protein.
There it is.
Has more omega-3s than fish oil.
It can house
You
you.
can biofuel. You can use it to heat, and you can house it. The pyramids were made. The mortar was made. They've been using it for years, and your
All of
U.S. Your flagship, the USS Constitution, that flagship, 60 tons of hemp and hemp fiber. It's
Wow.
still on it today.
Isn't the original Constitution
Amazing.
written on hemp?
Yeah, the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
The Declaration, if it was written on regular paper, you wouldn't be able to see it today. And
On
your-
that note, I got to take a quick break, man.
no doubt.
All beats provided by Theory. We're sitting here with Scrogger, talking it up, man, about the legalities of cannabis in DC. And I want to ask you, when we come back, I want to ask you about the rest of the country. I want to
yeah.
I want to see where this is going. So we'll be right back. This is On Beat with Olo, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax.
Keeping the First Amendment alive. We are Fairfax County's cable access and internet radio station.
The radio programs aired by FPA reflect the viewpoints of individual producers and do not necessarily represent those of the station, its staff, or supporters.
Peace. Welcome back to On Beat with Olo. This is DJ Olo coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. That's WEBR Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. I'm sitting here with DC SCROGER, and we're talking about Initiative 71. One of the things that we didn't really touch on is the paraphernalia part in Initiative 71. That's actually a really big one, because if that wasn't added, then it would be in one of those flawed bills again, right? Because then if you can get the product, you have no way to use it. So that
was the reason behind Initiative 71. Capitol Hemp, Adam and Allen's store, was raided. because of paraphernalia. And they decided rather than sit down and give up, let's rally the people and change the law.
And that was recently. That was like a couple years ago that happened.
Yeah, but the DC had voted in the late 90s for medical marijuana, back in, I believe, 98. So it's been there. It's just that we had to put forth. 71% of the population voted for Initiative 71.
In 2014.
Yeah. 71.
That's what's up. And see, a lot of people don't know, and CC and I talked about this, is that medical marijuana is actually legal in Virginia as well since 1972 or something like that, back in the day. But
it's hard to
flawed.
get.
Yeah, it's flawed.
Like, even having a life-threatening disease or illness, like, they're still gonna like put you through so many red hoops just to get it.
So Scrogger, what I want to know is, where is it going? I mean, I've seen what's happening in DC, and I'm with you, man, because I feel, I'm all about the people too. You know what I'm saying? If I can help my brother can help me out, right? And I see what you're doing, and it's right. I mean, you're right on track with it. I don't know if a lot of people listen or they don't. I'm sure there's a lot of dummies that say, "Yo, what are you talking about?" I get that. You know what I'm saying?
They're starting to listen. And I've been doing this before anybody even knew me. I used to just walk up on people with my book bag after Initiative 71 passed.
Yeah.
Random people I thought might smoke, and ask them, "Are you 21? Are you 21? Do you smoke cannabis?" They look at me like I'm crazy. I whip my bag around. They're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa." I'm like, "Look, under Initiative 71 and under the law, I can legally give you cannabis."
Yeah.
And that's what I'm about to do. Here you go. Everybody, it blows their mind because nobody really gives anybody anything.
If you watch a couple of his shows, you'll see him pass it out on his show.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you home, brother. As soon as we get across the
But
as soon as you pass over that bridge.
What's really beautiful about the law is that it allows people to actually not be fearful. And one thing that Reefer Madness has created is this fear factor. Now, mind you, crossing the line coming out DC, it is like the Twilight Zone. Everything goes back, but going back into the bubble, it's a district of cannabis.
Yeah, that's what it is, exactly. That's what's happening,
District
man.
of Cannabis. I love this.
I want to ask you about Autism Speaks. I noticed that that you were in all 4 quadrants and you had a giveaway, right? And
all 4, all over the city.
All over the city, and you were collecting donations for Autism Speaks.
Bike to the beach.
Oh, that's what it was.
It's
Bike
Autism
to the beach.
Speaks. Bike to the beach.
Bike to the beach. That's what you were raising it for.
Yeah,
exactly.
Bike to the beach.
Yeah. So tell us. I just want to know how it is that you went from that to that.
Well, what I've done is what we did. What that is, look, this shirt here, Thanksgiving. This is where it starts. Thanksgiving, last November, was the first event that was held, cannabis related, in a venue, not in somebody's home.
Yeah.
My buddy Carlos, Los the Green Thumb, him and Miss M, we call her Miss M, organized, and with the help of others, Thanksgiving. To get into Thanksgiving, all you had to do was bring 3 household items for a women's shelter, Hasina's Place, which is a women's shelter for, it's a women empowerment shelter. It's in off of Bladensburg Road in Northeast. That's what we did. So that was the first event. All you had to do was you could go to the dollar store and get that.
Yeah.
And you got in free. And then we handed out, my buddy Los handed out Mrs. Buttersworth, which was CNN's Mrs. Buttersworth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So what we've done Christmas. On Christmas, we did a free treat giveaway. It was Free Treat Friday throughout that's what it is, Free Treat Fridays.
Okay.
Throughout the holidays.
Are you doing that again?
I may. Why I did Free Treat Fridays is I won the edible competition. I'm the edible champ of the city.
That's what I wanted to get into,
I
man.
know, I was doing
And I won an edible competition, and rather than feed consumption, I chose to give. And I chose to give thousands of treats away to the city with the same message that I gave you.
Well, I wanted to get into the edible contest that you were in, and I want to know why it is that your edibles won over everybody else. I mean, it all ties together. You know what I'm saying? It all ties together.
One of it
Is it a lot of taste? Like,
I have the flavors. I have the flavor. The flavors are down. I can make any. I can make every edible that there is to make. Other than that, I don't make edibles though because, one, legally, if I give you what I put in the edibles, and something happens to you because you don't consume cannabis, then the SCROGER, as you know him, may not exist anymore. PR, all that type of nightmare. Why I won is because I know how to make, and edibles are trimmers for tea, and top cola nugs, and then extras in whatever you're trying to run. Butter, oil, you need extras. Extras being concentrate. And if you're not doing that, you're behind the curve. So everybody is behind the curve.
And for those who don't know, what is concentrate? I know you said it before, but I think people still want to know exactly what concentrate is. Because a lot of people don't really know. They know it's
concentrate.
THC.
It is THC. Easiest way to explain a concentrate or a dab, or what you might know as dab. Dab is actually a verb. It's not an actual noun. It's a verb. People say I'm going and dab. I want a dab. It's not a dab. It's concentrate, it's wax, it's oil, it's BHO, it's live, it's CO2, it's crumble, it's shatter, it's rosin, it's a lot of things, but it's all one thing, and that is the concentrate form of what is medicine. And the difference, the easiest way to explain it is the best cannabis that you smoked in your life. You say you smoke and you go to the clouds. Well, hidden concentrate, those best grown is 32%. Concentrates are upwards of 80%, 90%.
Wow.
And when you're talking fractional distilled, you're talking...
All right, I need you to break down distilled for me, because
I can't talk about that.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
I really
man.
can't. I can't talk about concentrates, and we've got into a little bit deeper into it.
All right, okay, no, if you don't want to talk about it, I don't want to push you into it.
No, I mean,
good.
the reason that I can't talk about it is that although it's medicine, and we all know that it's medicine, they're saying that the way that it's being made, or that it's your changing processes, even through heat and pressure.
That's what I want to get into. Yeah. Because you don't need CO2, you don't need BHO. You don't need the
you could make
butane.
You could make oil with a flat hair dryer.
Flat hair, yeah, exactly.
With your wife or
some parchment paper.
But we can't get into like
I feel you. Yeah. We don't have to get into all that.
I know that might be a little bit much. And
but
we
the
may have
oils,
a little bit more.
No, the oils are also
very important.
Yeah, it's very important for kids who have epilepsy.
Oh yeah, I know one of the spokeswomen for children for epilepsy that it's saved her child's life, and she is one of the spokeswomen for the country for children with cannabis for epilepsy. So we know epilepsy, autism. We're talking Alzheimer's. We're talking just scratching the surfaces of the cure-all that they already know is. Denying access will not be denied. Virginia will get hip, and everywhere. We're talking full legalization in the country.
Cliff.
Yeah, let me just the topic. I came because I haven't been here in a long time and I miss you all, but this topic drew me in too because I want to kind of share my relationship with it, and then I have questions for you based on that. So I never did that. I lost my leg 2 years ago. I was driving on a motorcycle and someone was on their phone and they never looked up and they cut across 3 lanes of traffic, hit me, and I lost my leg. I've been battling back. I had an interesting relationship with alcohol. I wasn't
After the accident?
No. Before the accident.
Okay.
As Redman would say, I'm not an alcoholic, but I make you say, "Damn." You know, there was a time where I had an interesting relationship, and going through what I went through with the leg loss, the prescription drugs, that relationship I had with alcohol actually saved me, saved my life from the prescription drugs. I was on 18 different prescription drugs in a 2-week case, Monday through Friday, bang. And my wife is ultra conservative. My wife hates that it's in my house. My wife hates that my kids are around it. My wife, when I say hate, I'll use that word a little more loosely. She doesn't like it. She's having a hard time warming up to it, right? Because she's like most people, maybe most of our listeners, they got that problem with it. Yeah. So anyway, I did my research and came across someone, amputee with the phantom pains. At times it feels like my limb is in a vice, like it could not, like just cranking the vice, it's so tight. And I just have a one hitter and I do that and it's
concentrate?
No, not concentrate,
okay.
Just out the back door, hey anybody, help me out. You know, so that helps tremendously.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, but you're talking about the epilepsy, you're talking about the seizures, you're talking about all this stuff. Listen, this amputee, like my sleeping pill that I had to take, I'm not taking my sleeping pill.
You don't have to.
I'm not taking any phantom pain medication, no Dilaudid, no morphine, none of that Oxycontin, which would have me literally drooling on myself. Incoherent, I don't know what's going
zombie.
on. I take more than 2 of those Dilaudid and I throwing up, I can't drive, nothing. I had to literally, I took my kids, my 2 kids, my wife. This is in suburbia, white America, and I got a little bowl, and I got a. Not, when I say a little bowl, I mean like that you pour cereal in, not like a little. No. I got a bowl, and I used what I actually, a little bit that I smoke, and I tapped it, I filled it, and I tapped it out, and I said, "This is what we're talking about. You put more pepper on your salad that I'm smoking." So where my question is, what I'm actually starting to do, I'm a healthy guy. I'm like hitting the gym off. I don't like the smoking aspect of it. The edible thing, I think the key to this, because there's pros and cons. We're talking about all the pros. There's cons to this that we're not touching on where health is concerned. And the dosage. See, when we make this legal, right? Like alcohol is legal, but no one controls their dosage. Like you said, brother, you know, you go home, you have a glass of wine to unwind. Okay, that's cool. There's people who go home and drink a case to unwind. And they're out of their mind and they're losing their livers and there's other health issues. So this can be abused as well. We've all been to our hip hop shows, seeing it in full abuse. You know, the pros are you can't OD on it. But if you are on your proper dosage, and that proper dosage to me, based on my knowledge of what I'm living, is you're not really high, if you will. You're high for like the first 5 minutes, and then you're good.
I heavily med.
And well, I mean, like I said, everyone's dosage is different.
I have 4 back surgeries last year, and I haven't popped a pill in almost 4 years.
That's what's up.
I've had serious back issues, and I heavily med on cannabis. And had I listened to the doctors, like you said, I would be opiate dependent. We're talking post-traumatic stress of our veterans too. 22 veterans a day commit suicide
PTSD
because they're
is an issue. I'll say this though, at Shock Trauma, I was pretty open with them, and I'm like, look, I'm done with these meds. I don't like the meds. I can't stand the prescription stuff at all. I actually speak to high schools around the country, and I'm talking to kids, middle schoolers and high schools, and I talk about the 3 Ps of an amputee, which is practice, patience, and perseverance. And then I bring 3 Ps for them, which is peer pressure. I talk about peer pressure, and then I speak in peer pressure about prescription drugs. And why I asked that question earlier, brother, is it's funny how they have the marijuana leaf in the picture that I show them when it talks about staying away from drugs with the heroin, with the cocaine, with the other thing.
It does.
And it's touchy.
Hey, real quick, I got to take a quick break, man. I'll be right back. We're going to come right back to that, but I have to take a quick break. This is On Beat with Olo. All beats provided by Theory. We'll be right back. Peace.
Keeping the First Amendment alive. We are Radio Fairfax, Fairfax County's public access and internet radio station.
The radio programs aired by FPA reflect the viewpoints of individual producers and do not necessarily represent those of the station, its staff, or supporters.
Peace. Welcome back to On Beat with Olo. This is DJ Olo coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. So it's getting interesting now, man.
Yeah.
Brother Cliff was over here telling us about his experience, and I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, brother.
I just had to take a quick break, but get right back into it, man. You were telling us about.
It's great because you started it off talking about the knowledge. We're uneducated. Yeah. You know, we are uneducated in this topic, and it's tough for me when I go to these schools because I'm trying to tell the kids that the prescription drugs are the problem. That is a form of heroin, but then
synthetic heroin.
Right, it's synthetic heroin. I mean, that's what it is. So, we're in that spot right now where it's tough. I can't at school say, "Hey, kids, don't go taking your medication and go smoke." I would never do that. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
So, but yet it is an epidemic in our school. We just had someone, Frederick, Maryland, Urbana High School, top 30 school in the country. Someone just died. Heroin, OD, done.
Heroin?
Heroin.
Cincinnati's got that crazy batch that just happened out there, and it's like, I mean, people are dying from that because they're like using different stuff to cut it with. It's just all bad. It's just all bad, period.
Yeah, opiate addiction
crazy,
is epidemic, and it does get crazy.
So I'm here. The reason that I came tonight, other than to see you beautiful people, is look, listen up. This saved my life. Like, there is that is undeniable. Yeah. This thing saved my life, and this is something that I didn't dab in or dabble in. I mean, here and there, growing up, of course, we've all been around it, but I've never had it a part of my life like that.
Right.
And now, I mean, look at what it's saving as far as prescription meds. Like, I don't know what's in that stuff. 18 pills a day down to, I take like 2 one-hitters, if that.
Right.
And that's like,
I just want to go back
that's not even every day. Like, I just take it as it is needed.
Your question earlier, I'm not going to say anything because I really don't know. But I think what you were saying is if you wanted to get away from the actual flower, probably get into looking into the concentrates.
And what are the differences there? Like, what am I going, like, because with the edibles, I can't control my dose. With an edible.
One thing about it is, in DC there is no edible company. Okay, there are no edible companies. Okay, that's just the facts legally. As far as dosages, there isn't facilities for us to test our cannabis. There aren't. So we need testing facilities to be able to give you the actual dosage in them. Why I stopped making them is because I put too much in them. And if I was to hurt you, meaning you just pass out or something and you fall and hit your head, then I'm legally liable for that. And DC SCROGER will be legal liable for Fox 5 and Channel 4 at the hospital causing, and what happened is this, what I'm very keen on is my cannabis community, and I'm for the betterment of my cannabis community, and one person
makes everybody look bad.
Everybody is just, that's what they're waiting for.
I was gonna say that's what they want.
Oh, this scary giant to jump out the bag, and that's what they'll use is somebody such as myself to say, oh, look what he did, or look what she did, or look what they're doing, to say that everybody's doing the same when it's not.
I think one of the problems, one of the problems though is that the kids of the people who are fighting this, or I don't want to say they're your clientele, but these are the same kids that are into this culture. You know what I'm saying? So there's almost like a I don't know the right word, man, but it's like an oxymoron, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the kids are gonna turn around and fight against what their parents are fighting against right now.
Well, I got you on that, but what has been denied since 1938 Marijuana Tax Act has been the plan. And there's one thing that's not gonna be denied. I'll tell you this right now. Why everybody is involved. And why is because Colorado gave $1 billion in cash to Colorado.
Yeah.
So if they made $1 billion in cash and they paid taxes in $1 billion in cash, how much cash do they have sitting in vaults?
Yeah.
Okay. Washington the same. Oregon the same. Look,
California.
One thing you cannot do, and no matter what your state is, this is Virginia too, what they not gonna deny is that cash.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the day. So if they find a way to make money in it, your politician that was so against is gonna be so for it.
Yeah.
And this is what I ask your politician. And this is I don't know if I could say this, but
say whatever you want, man.
All right, this is what I ask your politician. Do you support your veterans and their medical program? Of course that answer is going to be yes, right? Then will you deny them their medicine? Of course the answer is going to be no, right? Then why did you vote no or yes for medical cannabis or medical in your country, in your state, or at your state level, or in Congress? Why did you vote no?
Because they don't care, because politicians weren't over there fighting, man.
Yeah, well,
that's the thing.
But what I'm saying is that
I feel you. I get you.
Yeah.
But they don't get it.
They don't
That's
get
the
it.
thing,
Right.
man. That's what I'm
But
trying to say.
a lot of them do, though. A lot of them voted yes for veterans access in the House.
No, you're
in
right.
October,
Yeah.
in June, and what that did was actually put forth a lot of effort to the state level too, because if your state senator or state legislator that is representing your whole state voted for it, then on the state level, do you support your veterans or not? These are the questions that you as a citizen should be asking your state legislator anywhere where you live, throughout the state, wherever your jurisdiction is. Do you support your veterans? Do you support their access to what we know is medicine for post-traumatic stress? 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Opiate addiction, post-traumatic stress, that's what's going on. And they're denied the access. So if you don't care about me or you or anybody else, do you care about them? That's
and see,
important.
Cliff, you're a perfect example. I mean, you just said it right there. You know what I'm saying? You may not be a war veteran.
I am a war veteran, Persian Gulf. I was in the first
go.
one that popped it all off, baby.
There you go, then, man. That's it, man. First hand, right here. That's what I'm saying.
I cut the ribbon.
Yeah, there you go, man. You know, I got a friend. He's got brain cancer. He's got a tumor in his brain. And he told me, he was like, yo, the only reason that I'm still alive today is because he eats it. He he has concentrates. He said that he had no appetite. He said that the pain was unbearable. And he told me, he was like, he said, I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for this plant. Right?
The biggest thing that had me where I speak like this about it is I was fascinated on how all the pills
are gone.
All of the pills, like 18 pills for 18 different things, and all of them are gone.
Yeah.
And I get everything. I mean, it gives me everything I need. I want for nothing.
And you
Subhanallah.
said,
Subhanallah, right?
You said your friend has
he's got brain tumor.
Cancer, yeah. I gave some 99% CBD.
Oh, okay.
Fractional distill. We can't talk about concentrates, but 99% CBD, which is legal in all 50 states.
Yeah, they sell CBD oil in every local vape store.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, but we're talking 99%. Yeah, we're talking true medicine. But I gave it to somebody whose folks were coming out of chemo, and they didn't want to be popping. They said they didn't want to pop pills.
Yeah.
So, it's medicine. It is, and it's.
Well, Cece, same as you, right?
Yeah. I take chemo. I get chemo when I'm really sick, and they try to give me a whole bunch of prescriptions to. I'm allergic to a lot of narcotics, so prednisone is what they give you to wean off of the chemo. And I tell the doctor, they all know that cannabis is in my life.
Yeah.
So
my doctors
know, and they know, and I think that's one of the reasons why the multiple sclerosis hasn't fully. I mean, it attacks me, and it does give me paralysis sometimes in some different limbs and different things like motor skills and stuff. But they know, and I really think that the main reason I'm able to stay on this drug that I'm on, because I was a guinea pig for this drug, because it's a deadly drug. It gives you a brain virus. If you're diagnosed with the brain virus, that the drug that I take to cure or keep me in remission of MS can give me a brain virus and kill me or give me whole body paralysis. So I think that if I stop using cannabis, because I've always had cannabis in my system, that I might be more susceptible to getting the brain virus.
Oh yeah, you have natural cannabinoid receptors in your body.
Yeah.
And this has been known. And oh man.
It's helped me so much. It helps me so much with I get really bad restless leg syndrome from the MS, and they try to put me on 3 different drugs for that. And I told them I'm gonna keep on cannabis. I tried the baclofen, I tried the other drugs, but they don't work like cannabis. It's different. It's a different feeling. I don't have to wake up in the morning and have that type of drug high. From those drugs.
Asa.
Yeah.
Asa came.
That sleeping pill that they had me on. I wake up. It took me 2.5 hours to wake up after I was all, like, what is this? Like,
the Americans for Safe Access ASA conference was done in the city, and Professor Hans, who is one of the cannabinoids itself, what we know as it to be medicine, is through his research at the University of Israel. And I met him and a gentleman named Sebastian at ASA. We had a chat and talked about his 40 years of research on the plant. Israel is the leading studies on cannabinoids. They've been doing it for quite a while. And what we need here in this country, can't say that, though. Can't say that.
Well, no, if it's in your opinion.
In my opinion, what we need in this country is a full federal program on the research. So not that it's privatized, that it's federally and it's transparent also, meaning that all the research that is being done and the new things being found about it are uploaded as they're being found about it, so that other researchers around the world and around the country can use that information, kind of like a big piggy bank of information, so we can innovate and improve rather than look for monetary gains.
The interesting thing that you just said about the Israel doing the research on CBDs is that they actually just put out an article recently that said that that they've been testing CBDs on kids who have autism, or just people in general. I don't know if it's just kids, but it's people with autism. And they're saying that it's helping a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Unfortunately, our time is almost up, but I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to just, give your last thought. And I want to give SCROGER, I want to give you, if people wanted to find you online, how can they find you? I know they can just Google DC SCROGER.
DC SCROGER, SCROGER, 1 G, phonetically it would be 2. I spell it with 1. That's for anybody who thinks I can't spell. It's SCROGER. Scrogging is a technique of growing. They can find me at DC SCROGER. Instagram is DC SCROGS, but DC SCROGER everywhere else. So just Google DC SCROGER.
Yeah, that's what's up. In my experience, I Googled your name and I found everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah, it was pretty easy, man. You're all over the place, man. I'm going to start with Theory, man. Theory, I want to thank you again for playing live beats, man. If people wanted to check you out and find you online, find some of them new. I know you got the ARK album just dropped about a month ago.
Yeah, that's right. And you can check us out at arkmusicgroup.com if you like. And it's all there. Videos, the new album, plus links to everything that we're doing, of course. I want to personally thank DC SCROGER for coming through, man. And just, good. Man, it's the message. We've got Cliff in the house here. He's living proof.
Oh, yeah.
Of the medicinal factors of it, he's and CC as well, just these are both testimonials. Believe it, it's real,
It's definitely real.
Keep spreading the word, it's not about stoners, dude, you gotta tell, none of that, It's medicine. Let it be.
That's what's up, Theory, man. I appreciate you playing all these beats and playing the tracks for the breaks.
Thank you. We feature some other artists as well, but it's always a good time, man. Love to be here.
Thanks, man. Count Fifth. I didn't really get a chance to get into
it's
everything
all good,
you got going on. But real quick, I just want to run it down because you got the record store, Records and Rarities.
Yes, indeed.
You got DJs coming through
every weekend, man. Saturday and Sunday. We have legendary locals, and we're gonna have national acts come through. We have a lot of big event plans for the store.
If people don't know by now, you were the winner of the last Beat Konductaz battle.
Yes, sir.
The royalty
Yes, sir.
free. I'm
Yes,
sure a lot
sir.
of people have seen that online.
Yeah.
You also just did. It's a single, but it was a remix, but ended up being.
It was, yeah. There was an original single that we released. It's A.G. the Coroner featuring Action Bronson. But for the album version, I actually did the beat for the album version.
For the album version,
it's a sample-free beat,
royalty-free,
royalty-free sample.
That's
I mean, I
what's up,
played
man.
everything. No royalty-free, nothing. Nobody else's royalty-free sample. I played everything. for
Yeah.
my beat, you know. So
that's what's up,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. I like to throw that out there.
And then you also have.
Organic. I'm organic.
Yeah, I'm a musician, man. I don't just take other people's samples and say, "Oh, this is royalty free." You're still sampling, you know what I'm saying? You're still taking somebody else's work, man. So I played that stuff. And it's called Park Ave, by the way. Sorry, and the album is Sip the Nectar.
That's what's
A.G.
up,
the
man.
Corner.
And you also have an instrumental album coming out.
I do, man. This is like the real first press of first mention at all. I've told a couple friends, but yeah, man, I got a working title. I don't know if I'm gonna announce that yet, but it's a 2-volume instrumental.
That's what's
it's
up.
A soulful,
we need that, man.
It's a soulful boom bap hip hop album. I mean, it's very eclectic. A lot of different styles of production on there. Obviously, because I'm Count Fifth. I'm the fifth elements, the universal, all styles combined to one. So no, but yeah, it's very universal. Project.
That's what's up, man. And the last thing I got on here is you got a project coming up with Guilty Simpson.
We do,
that you're
man.
working on
Man
right
Bites
now. And you're
Dog
looking
Records.
for production, actually.
Yeah. I mean, we Man Bites Dog Records. We got the EP with Guilty Simpsons coming out soon. We also got another record with Streets All Salute from London, from UK.
Okay.
They're part of the Dipset London Cats at Streets All Salute, SAS. It's a collab production album. It's Blue Sky Black Death produced the whole record.
That's
We're
what's
just
up,
getting ready to
man.
put out the new single, Rock Marciano Noriega.
Nice.
Yep.
Bringing it together.
Putting it all out, man.
That's what's up, man. Count Fifth,
Can't
I
stop,
appreciate
won't
you
stop.
coming out.
Thank you for everything. Thanks for bringing it out, SCROGER, man. Thank you for that, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Next to you, Brother Cliff.
Congrats, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I'm just getting back. I got so much going on. I actually just got back from Toronto last week. Adidas and TaylorMade are sponsoring me for this Bring Back.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. Bring back the game of golf
Okay.
to amputees and kids that are in wheelchairs. And
Yeah, that's cool.
Like
Dope,
mental disability. So we're bringing back the game. I was at the
mental disability?
mental
you got to get
too.
me in there.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, I
that's
work
me
with a
all
guy.
day.
His name's Todd Kierstead. He's located in Canada. He's the founder of Bring Back the Game and GWA Golf with Attitude.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I
That's what's
think
up,
I can
man.
deal with this. All right. Like, so I'm like Ice Cube or I don't know, Easy. But he's got that going on. So I just got back from there, which we got some good things. I got my standwithcliff.com. The site is not up yet.
All right.
I'm literally a month away, but that is stand is stop texting and driving.
Oh, okay.
It's similar to MAD. I'm launching a national campaign to get the awareness of texting and driving, so I can save
That's
lives.
what's up, man. I didn't know
to do
about that.
And then I also got my Champs, CH, Cliff Hageman, first letter is my name, and then AMPS. It's going to be my AMPS. I'm starting an organization, a foundation for kids that lose limbs at an age where they grow much quicker than we do. So they need more equipment. They need more, it costs them more money. If they don't have the insurance, they're done. So I'm working on that as well. I really appreciate your info, brother. I'm definitely going to look you up. I'm glad I came out here tonight. It's always a pleasure
Appreciate
seeing
you.
you. Oh, always a pleasure.
I appreciate you coming out, man.
Always.
Hey,
Much
shout
love.
out to Kadir Latif, man.
Hey, shout out to Kadir Latif, just signed with
Rough
Rider
Riders.
Records a couple months ago. He's got a banging video out. He's doing
Dope.
great things, man. He's got
Yeah.
Rough Riders on his back, man. I can't think
He's
of a better
exactly where we expected him to be. At this
right?
point, right?
Exactly.
We talked about this a couple years
Exactly.
ago, man. That's what's
Exactly.
up.
So,
Yeah, man.
it's great to see my brother shining, man. I love
That's
it.
what's up, man.
All right. Thank you so much.
To your right, Miss CC Vibes.
What's going on?
I still can't see you.
I know it's okay.
But
I can see your curls.
if people wanted to find you online, how can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Elizabeth Tabazile. That's Tebazile. If you just need some extra optimism in your life, or if you need any on growing, I'm at a farm all the time. So if you ever need any tips on growing anything, any herbs or perennial, annual, any plant.
Well, you and SCROGER might have to exchange tips. You know what I'm saying?
I brought him a plant today.
Yeah, what is this plant anyways?
I wish I could tell you what the plant's name was, but I don't know. It's
It's an indoor plant.
Yes.
I'm going to grow it. It's not going to go with my plant. But, it's going to grow in the house. And
give him some good oxygen.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I'll show y'all pics of it. Maybe I'll do it side by side, get something that's somewhere similar to this, and then maybe do it side by side and grow.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, man. You got to put one of your lights on there, man. See how that does.
Oh, that might get real big then.
Yeah. Cece, I appreciate you coming out again.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you next week.
It was so nice meeting you. Like,
nice meeting you too.
It's always good to meet someone else that has a green thumb.
Yeah. Oh.
Shout out to Los, the green thumb.
The green thumb.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wish he could have made it out.
Yeah.
Definitely got to get him out here next time.
Yeah. No doubt.
Next to you, just real quick, Jamal. Hey, I just want to say thank you for coming out. You didn't say anything. I thought you were gonna have more to say, man.
I didn't get a chance to. You know, we definitely have to do another one.
Another one, yeah,
I
I know.
Some questions too, and you know, we could go into this a little more deeper.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's what's up. And next to you over here, Matt, he didn't get to say anything either.
Yeah, I didn't get much of a word in, but I definitely got stuff to say as well. Just like everyone here, I've experienced the benefits firsthand. I've seen it help to benefit people with Tourette OCD. I've seen it help mainly with just prescription a dependency to help kind of reduce the stress that you have to deal with in that. With just, I mean, I even heard you say gabapentin. I'm familiar with gabapentin. I know there's a lot of benzos out there that people have problems with. You got Xanax, and then of course opioids, oxycodone, Vicodin. It's all a bad thing. And I mean, I've seen a lot of doctors who are worse than a lot of drug dealers that I've seen, and that's kind of how it's going. And so people need to recognize marijuana.
Well, they work together, the doctors and pharmaceutical companies.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah. So
they get checks from each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's everything's connected, and I mean, people really need to recognize cannabis for what it's got to offer us, and it's definitely there. If anybody's interested in finding out a little bit more about what I do, you can check me out on my website, www.redmatterproductions.com. I do video work, music videos, weddings, commercials, advertisements, promos, whatever you need, we can do it. So
Matt's done a lot of the videos for us, man. So whatever you see the B Konductaz stuff, that's Matt. Shout out to Mark back here doing a video today. Mark,
it's all the same.
Mark is he's the head of our video department, man. So again, Scroger, if you got any last words, man.
Hey, yo, since you said my government, can I get a little a little plug, something, man.
For what? Strike Off?
Yeah, Strike Off.
Oh, man. Yeah, shouts out to Strike Off. Yeah, man.
The #1 MMA show in the state of Virginia and the largest in the DMV.
Yeah, man.
Come if you like, check us out on
strikeoff.com
or check us out on Facebook. We got a
we're official sponsors of Strike Off. B Konductaz.
Official sponsors, yes. Shout out to Matt and Mark. They're the
for
guys
helping out.
Our videos too.
Just chill with all that, though, man.
Okay, yeah.
Jamal's over here telling me I shouldn't give his government name, and he's gonna blow up my spot now, man. Chill with all that, man. Shout out to Strike Off, though, man. Shout out to Coach Rob. I got to get out of here, though, man. Yeah. Scroger, last word is on you,
man,
bro.
Be blessed, be safe, man. Yo, come to DC, man. Come to the bubble, District of Cannabis, yo. Grow good, smoke good, eat good. Scrogging with the Scroger.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Theory. All live beats by Theory. Oh, this is the one right here, man. Shout out to Jay Dilla, the Jay Dilla Foundation. We're out of here. Peace.
The radio programs aired by FPA reflect the viewpoints of individual producers and do not necessarily represent those of the station, its staff, or supporters.
Keeping the First Amendment alive.